Hey there, thanks for tuning in. Welcome back to the Torgo Entertainment YouTube channel. Torgo here. Welcome back to another gig log, and at long last, welcome back to another wedding. I say at long last because so far this year it's been a bit of a dry spell for weddings. I've only had 4 so far this year, 2 back in April, 1 in June, and 1 in July. It's been a light summer for me, which isn't necessarily a bad thing. It's nice to be able to actually enjoy weekends in July and August for a change. But September is here and it is time for wedding season once again. It's a late start for me, but I have several weeks in a row of weddings, starting off with this one. Today, we celebrate the wedding of Dan and Marisa. Now, this is one of those cases where Dan and Marisa actually knew me because they were guests at a wedding I did, and it's one that you've seen on the channel. Not one of the more visible ones, because it was one of those videos where I had multiple weddings in one video, but this was Josh and Kat's wedding from back in 2021.
And there she goes, super short speech. Most of you don't know this, but during that time, Kat and I had a real romantic fling. Now,
a more low-key backyard wedding, but a good wedding all the same. And Dan and Marisa saw me there. They knew they wanted me to DJ the wedding based on how I did at that one, and here we are. Today, we head to Terry Hills Golf Course in Batavia, New York. Let's go to the map and show you exactly where that is. An hour 30 to an hour 45 from Corning. Not that bad of a drive at all, especially when I've kind of gotten a little too used to these 3-hour plus jaunts for weddings, and several of those are coming later this year. And yes, I did get a chance to check out Terry Hills earlier this summer, so let's go case the joint.
I thought you said the library was closed, Frank.
This is what they call casing.
I'm so happy I got a chance to check this out ahead of time, because when you see the moniker golf course, you have an expectation of what you're going to be working with. However, because they're going to have me outside in that pavilion the entire time, it's a completely different atmosphere from what I thought it was going to be, because a lot of the golf course weddings are kind of the same once you get indoors. The couple's going to be coming up in a tandem bicycle. That's going to be their grand entrance. They're not really having a wedding party, so that's more of a low-key affair. The only real, I don't want to say trouble, but again, I don't want to say complication either, but the only real addition that they have is they're having live music during one song. And of course, I have to provide sound for that because wedding musicians don't have their own amplification apparently. I don't know why, but it's not that big of a deal. I can do that with one person. I've done it several times before. The affair lasts from 5 to 10, so standard 5-hour cocktail and reception, only one setup, nothing too tricky. Rachel comes with me on this one. The music selections are certainly unique compared to other things you've heard on this channel, and I'm sure it's music that the couple loves. It's going to be great. I do enjoy playing not the same music all the time, but there's always the worry that will guests respond to what the couple likes, especially when guests are not allowed to make song requests. Ultimately, you have to stick to what the couple wants, and it's not bad music at all. I actually enjoy quite a bit of it. It's just the uncertainty. You know what songs are tried and true and tested from your experience doing weddings. So when you introduce all these new elements, there's always that little bit of uncertainty, but maybe it's just me overthinking things, as I think I do every once in a while on this channel. But I hope you're ready for this one. It's nice to get back into weddings. Let's go.
Here's a pro tip: if you can, go to your hotel first. Check in and change. Let's go.
Look at me. Look at me. Look at the DJ. Look at the DJ. Now look outside. Look outside right now. Here are your newlyweds, everyone. I know I told everybody to sit down, so it would be very rude of me to ask them to come all the way up here. So I'm just going to have them stand at their tables and have you give them a round of applause. First off, make some noise for Marissa's parents, Mike and Marilee Kroll, right here. That was very nice. I want you to keep that energy going just as high for Dan's parents, Grant and Marcy Essler. Grant and Marcy, right in front of me. Now I want you to take the energy that you gave Mike and Marilee, I want you to take the energy that you gave Grant and Marcy, combine them, and make it twice as large for what's probably, the third time, because ceremony is one and you came in on the bike, that's two. So for the third time today, make some noise for your newlyweds, Mr. and Mrs. Dan and Marissa Essler! They've chosen a song very special to the two of them. The band is called Whitney. The song is called Before I Know It. And make some noise one more time for your newlyweds, everyone.
It's you must go, and I must buy.
A couple of you have probably been wondering what the heck is all this stuff doing over on the side of the dance floor. Right? Like, now that you mention it, well, I'm going to have Grayson and Rebecca come up here.
If I had only felt the warmth within your touch, if I had only seen how you smile when you blush.
one of those songs where you hear it, you don't remember who it's by or what it's called, but once it kicks in, you're like, oh, I've heard this before. The English beat. Save it for later. We have now reached the product placement portion of tonight's festivities. Dan and Marisa 2 years ago. I was doing Josh and Kat's wedding, and they were guests there. And when they called me saying that they were looking for a DJ for their wedding, they're like, yeah, we saw you at this wedding that we did. I mean, I do a lot of weddings, so I don't really remember you. We're the couple that requested Rush all the time. Oh, hello, you guys. How you doing? All right, so I had to make sure I got a little bit of Rush in there for them.
And I'm back, filming on my cell phone, because I'm actually in the middle of getting stuff for other weddings and, you know, setting up the lights and everything. I just don't have time right now. So Dan and Marisa's wedding went very well. I will warn you ahead of time. Unfortunately, I could not capture the last bit of the wedding on film because during the high dance sets, the camera became unplugged. But the main weakness of the camcorder that I use from Panasonic is, and I've mentioned this before, it has a 90-minute battery life when it's fully plugged in. And we had to have it unplugged during the speeches, so it was charging during a good chunk of the dance floor time, and the tripod got knocked over, so unfortunately, we lost like the last 3 songs. We got most of it, and I was really freaking out about that because they had paid for the raw footage of what we could get on the camcorder as well. That's like the highest tier package that I have, is you get all the raw footage as well. But I think it'll be okay. It clearly shows the camera getting knocked, so you know, you can put 2 and 2 together. It's perfectly fine. At least we caught all the other stuff as well. A little bit of an annoyance is that they had an air show in Batavia during the wedding. Rachel and I learned this when we went to the hotel to get changed before the reception had started. We noticed all these signs in Batavia, you know, Batavia, Wings Over Batavia this weekend, and we're like, oh, I hope that doesn't affect anything, and it definitely did. So we had that happen, of course, when the speeches were taking place.
Yes, as I mentioned, there's an air show going on over Batavia yesterday and today, so that's what, so that's what that is. We're not getting, like, destroyed from orbit or anything like that. It was planned.
Fortunately, I knew about that so I could kind of calm down some of the people who were freaking out. They were having like war flashbacks during the speeches, and those speeches lasted forever, like 50 minutes of speeches. It was a lot. And let me tell you what, the ska went over really well. Some of the more obscure dance went over really well. These folks had a really good time. I'm happy that it worked out as well as it did. And I hope it came off that way as well. A playlist will be at the tail end of this video, so thanks for tuning in. I'm Torgo of Torgo Entertainment. Next gig log is gig log number 100. Believe it or not, I can't believe I've had that many already. But thank you for watching all of them. No one's watched all of them. That'd be a huge ask. But I'll see you next time. And I'm getting back to work. Take care. Hey, look. It's Rachel and me. You can't really see, but trust me, yeah. I wonder why that would be,
What the fuck, Raul? I don't even do shit. Come on. You're not the videographer, are you?